we doing, chat? Ooh, we, hey, all black everything, all black everything, yes sir. Let's get our cups up, double cup that hoe. Ooh, wee. Hey, I hope you having a good day. I hope you having a good day. And an even better day now that your boy is here. Let's fucking jam out for real. That royalty free music. Go ahead and hit that like button. Yo, we got that royalty free music. You know how I'm coming? Financially responsible. That's how I'm coming, chat. Look, I hope y'all having a good day and even better day now that your boy's here. Cause look, I got some special plan for y'all this weekend. So I'm not really gonna waste your time with nothing this stream. Look. You know, it's, Wednesday night. Wednesday night streams are special, chat. I know y'all know this. Wednesday night streams are special because of the fact that it's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the week, so we got hard work days behind us. Beautiful weekend days ahead of us. And look, bro, some of y'all already went through your tough 2 days. Monday and Tuesday, rough as fuck. Wednesday's almost over, but look. The party starts on Thursday. Yes, sir. And then Friday, we get litty over here. And then, of course, Saturday for the boys. And then, of course, Sunday we just chill, rewind, and kick it back. Because, Monday, the Soul Snatcher. Monday, the Soul Snatcher. Everybody hates Mondays, Monday where the work really starts. But to be honest, it's really on Sunday. Because if you not locked in on Sunday, your week not really set up like that. So you have to put in the effort on a Sunday. So you can make that Monday a little bit better, okay? I hope you enjoying yourself. I hope you fucking ready for the weekend. Because look, chat, I got something special planned for y'all. I'm trying to go up to San Diego and get litty. And I'm bringing y'all along with me. So IRL streaming is what I'm trying to do, baby. Boo. We finna see how that work out logistically. Because, my logistics are always, lacking when it comes to live streaming. Okay? We're going to try to work this shit out. I'm going to see what I can do because I'm really trying to live stream that whole. One of my most successful streams was the ATL Comic-Con. So I'm going to try this just for the boys, just for the fucking boys. I'm letting the squad know right now. We're going to work this shit out. And of course, I'm going to try to link up with the boy BHD. And we finna see if we're gonna plan something out. I don't know. We haven't figured out the logistics of it. Whenever we do, I'ma let y'all know. We finna have a little sesh, we finna let y'all see the fucking vibes are different over here. So hit the fucking subscribe button, hit the fucking follow button, and of course, most importantly, hit the damn notifications, my boy, cause I'm bringing you that content. So Mr.Muncher.com for all your fucking Mr. Muncher needs. Poppy Motion for all your aura, all the aura you need. I be dropping drip on there. I'm telling y'all, I got something planned for Instagram. I'm telling you, these hoes not gonna know how to handle this type of aura, okay? But we working on some, you know, we making big plans over here. We're trying to make, you know, aura history, you know? But for today, we're just going to get right into it, okay? We're going to get right into it. Let's go ahead and let's see what they got going on. I'm not going to lie. This one, honestly, it already looks like a good one right here. I've seen the fragrance guy on TikTok a few times. I might have to go into that one and let's see what else they got. Los Angeles, the city of broken dreams. Okay, we might. 42 minutes is too long. Look, this. I'm trying to run this stream back to back. It's gonna be a quick little run back, boy. Most lover, most hate speak guest of all time. Queso podcast. How bad was Michael? Bro, he played, you know, baseball, bro. He's got to be at least some good, you know. He played professional baseball. He's gonna be a little good. Who else? Honestly, I might just hit him with this one right here. Remember Jeremy Fragrance. All right, let's go ahead and get this going, chat. Oh.
From being at the very top of the fragrance world to losing his mind and his fans in just a few years with his weird behavior, my name's Ryan, and today we're looking at the story of Jeremy Fragrance and how his entire life and career fell apart one after the other. Jeremy Fragrance was one of the most unique success stories on YouTube. Real name Daniel Stradinsky, Jeremy carved out an unexpected niche for himself, reviewing perfumes. He started his YouTube channel all the way back in 2014, where he would just review perfumes while also sharing his life behind the scenes as a model. Dressed in sharp suits and starting every video with his iconic spin, Jeremy wasn't just describing colognes. He was—
I might have to hit that spin move on him, bro. I might have to hit that spin move. Hey, chat, imagine the energy I bring in when I'm hitting spin moves on y'all. Spin moves on the fucking start of the stream. Hell yeah.
Selling a lifestyle. He had an uncanny ability to communicate scent through a screen, something very few people had achieved on YouTube back then.
2 fragrances for you to show. For example, this is a Dark Rebel Rider, which smells like a Harley Davidson man. It smells like tobacco, leather, and whiskey. And this one, Spice Bomb. This smells like an explosion of spices, super dominant, super aggressive, but super bold and somehow sexy.
Fans would frequently comment saying, "This guy can make you hear smells." Whether it was a seductive evening cologne or a clean everyday wear, Jeremy made viewers feel like they could smell it through the monitor. He assigned each different scent their own personality and explained the scent through describing what kind of person he imagined.
Bro, I respect when somebody can take, you know, a simple little, you know, how would you say, interview or any kind of review of something and really give it like an extra life on top, right? For example, like motherfuckers that you know, for example, fucking, you know, code reviewers or people that review shit, like, can give it like an additional like lifelike personality, bro. I like somebody that puts that much of effort into doing what they do, you know?
The daring category. Okay, this is your daring fragrance, and ladies love a man that is bold, that is daring, because you need to have courage.
In addition to his good looks and confident character, he often interviewed female models to get their opinions on different perfumes to judge what's the best choice to wear for a certain occasion. Being able to watch women's reactions to men's fragrances drew millions of viewers to his channel, which grew to over 2 million subscribers in just a few years and amassing 10 million followers on TikTok.
Yep, I've seen him on TikTok.
That separated Jeremy from other YouTubers was just how genuine he was with his audience, something that was hard to find. His videos would contain no cuts, and even if he had to go off screen for an entire minute, he'd just leave it in the video.
That was really hardcore. I gotta open the door real quick. 1 second, guys.
Well, that's a lot of colognes.
Some new samples.
And sometimes he'd intentionally go off camera just to do something crazy random.
I will smash my head into the wall now, but not too strong.
What?
and fans would just wait patiently instead of clicking off just because of how hooked they were to him, as one of them commented, "I love how this guy is just himself. He's unapologetic, answers the door in the middle of a video, slams his head into the wall, checks his mic to make sure it's recording, etc. So good." But fame, especially when built on intensity and image, can be a double-edged sword. And for Jeremy, the cracks began to show. Jeremy's confidence and grace always made him seem trustworthy to his audience, with people going as far as saying, "You could literally sell me air and I'd buy it." But he decided to abuse the trust of his loyal followers when he started his Patreon to ask fans for their support, claiming he needs money to buy a new laptop to edit his videos. However, fans were shocked when just weeks later, he made a post titled, "My New Car."
And today I'm going to sign the contract for my new car, a Ferrari 458 Italia.
He then proceeded to buy the Ferrari, something that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, while he had been pretending to be financially struggling to even afford his own laptop. Fans were understandably upset that they got lied to and used, and Jeremy
okay, I'm not
made it
gonna
even
lie,
worse
that's
by-
a little rough, bro. You could say that, hey, just support me, not... Buying a Ferrari is crazy. Buying a regular car is one thing, but buying a Ferrari, you're like, fuck it, bro.
deleting negative comments under his video to the point where only positive comments remained. However, fans started discussing it in the comments of a re-upload, saying he literally begged for donations and then went and bought a Ferrari with them. It's sad and disingenuous. I hope he looks in the mirror one day and sees what he has become. Although, years later, he revealed that he had changed his ways and sold the Ferrari.
I got rid of my second most important valuable materialistic possession, which was the red Ferrari.
But
hey chat, let me ask y'all this, bro. Do y'all care if you know the person you're supporting ends up getting Ferraris or cars that are, you know, high value or like just high material value stuff? Does that bother y'all, like if the other person is, you know, not like, you know, super humble and super, you know, when the soul gets sold? When the soul gets sold in the creator. Like, I'm not saying like you know, they're shilling for the nearest fucking game or some kind of like simple like stuff. But what if they just end up buying and doing shit that is like only for the ultra wealthy? They start going on PJs and they're like, hey guys, day in the life of me, you know, and they're on a PJ. Does that bother y'all when your creator ends up becoming so big that they become wealthy? Or are you like, okay, this comes with what you've been grinding for? For me, bro, I feel like I would enjoy that lifestyle, you know, like for example, like you've been grinding all your life, you know, I've been hitting open mics for the last 3 years, doing fucking mics in front of 1, 2, maybe 3 people sometimes, bro. If I were to have the money to buy a Ferrari, obviously I'm not gonna be like, guys, I need a new laptop, please, and then end up buying a Ferrari. That's wild, you know, that's a little wild. But at the end of the day, bro, I feel like, you know, creators that have been creating for years and really living under a rock for years end up getting some money. It's respectful, and it is, you know, is my mic not working? Why is there, bro, why is my mic have, it has 3 different screens. I don't know why the fuck my, hold on a second. My screen has 3 different, why does it have a cam one? Okay, I'm gonna hide it real quick. That scared the fuck out of me. I'm like, bro, I've been yapping for about 15 minutes now. If it didn't catch any of it, I'm gonna be really upset.
He still never addressed the main issue, which was how he lied to his loyal fans and took advantage of their money for personal gain. This would only end up foreshadowing the kind of person Jeremy was becoming, as his popularity only began to skyrocket from there. However, Jeremy's career came under fire once again when he attended an event hosted by the New York Young Republican Club, where Donald Trump was a key speaker. Jeremy posted Instagram stories alongside 2 German far-right.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that I did Ali Stein's podcast, it made me realize, bro, I'm just gonna stick to the content, bro. I'm gonna try to avoid politics as much as I can, bro. Cause, bro, I don't know. I feel like when you start getting involved in politics, bro, it comes with a lot of power, and it comes with a lot of people like wanting to sway you. I've noticed that about a lot of podcasts nowadays, bro. they get, swayed. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Joe Rogan having, Donald Trump, Aiden Ross having Donald Trump. Low key, this election was, really based off of where you went on your podcast, bro. It made a lot of people more aware of your, presence. Like, this was like a podcast election, not gonna lie. In 2016, what was it? It was like Facebook Gate or whatever. I feel like, bro, I don't know. Maybe y'all might clip this in like 20 years and I'm having like fucking the future president on my fucking stream or something. But I'm just saying, bro, I feel like when you start getting politics involved in like just making people laugh or comedians having politicians on, it's kind of like weird, bro. Unless you're trying to humanize them, sure, it's one thing. But, bro, having politics involved in any kind of content creation, it kind of makes the waters a little muddy because like people are there to have fun, but like now politics is getting shoved in your face. I don't know. Unless it's like pure sarcasm and satire, I don't know. I might have to act like a full-on crackhead if I have them on, and they're gonna be like, "Okay, we cannot be going on this dumbasses podcast."
Figures Alexander Klein, a 31-year-old YouTuber and prominent activist within the German branch of the identification movement, and David Bendels, a 38-year-old editor-in-chief of the Deutschland Courier, known for his ties to the right-wing populist party Alternative for Germany. In another picture, he also posed with the Austrian right-wing politician and TV commentator Gerald Gross. After these selfies surfaced on Jeremy Fragrance's Instagram stories, multiple major brands, including Sky Deutschland and Aldi Nord, publicly ended their relationships with him and removed content or ads featuring him. His publisher, Heel Verlag, also dropped him, stating it would not reprint his books or work with him further. Jeremy was also on the verge of making a major deal that fell through.
I should have had a big money deal with a German fragrance chain, which would have given me about 300,000 to up to more than $1 million. And it just exploded because I was in a show where I took pictures with multiple people, and one of those guys was a right-wing guy.
On December 21st...
See, I will say, bro, that kind of bothers me, though, because I thought, in the world, bro, you could have people that you take pictures with. It's okay. That does not mean you believe in everything they do, right? Like for example, I'm on... like low-key, I thought like Alex Steen's podcast was just a comedy podcast, but I looked into it a little bit further. It's like more of like a right-wing thing. And bro, I'm not even registered to vote. I don't give a fuck. Like, I hate politics, bro. I genuinely despise politics because, bro, like, motherfuckers say one thing and then whenever they get into office, they completely do something completely different. So I fucking hate politics. And bro, especially being from Pakistan, motherfuckers over there are corrupt as fuck, and everybody's a puppet of the elite, low key. So it's like I'm not a big political guy. I really don't like it. I'm like, bro, I'm just a low key glorified clown. I just want to fucking just have fun and just make something funny and make something more entertaining than anything. I don't really like the whole holier than thou. Like, nobody's holier than thou. Just believe in the Lord, and that's all you need, bro. I don't know why the hell that nowadays, bro, everybody's on the bandwagon of, oh, my politician is better than yours. Bro, they all fucking are trash. I don't give a fuck. I will pick one side over the other just to fucking rage bait somebody. That's the only reason I pick one politician over the other, because I want the crowd to be like upset, but then I make it funny to where they're like, oh shit, I never thought about it like that, because both sides are equally retarded.
2018, at the peak of his career, Jeremy decided to use his experience with fragrances to create his
peak career was 2018? That don't sound right. I saw him in like 2023, I feel like.
Own perfume brand Fragrance One, where he collaborated with the legendary perfumer Alberto Marias, who has designed perfumes for brands such as Calvin Klein, Giorgio Armani.
Calvin Klein 1, I got that hoe in my shit right now. That's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
Marc Jacobs, and many more. Together with Jeremy, they created Fragrance One's very first perfume, something that seemed very promising.
So this will be called Office for Men. It is our very first fragrance the best office fragrance currently on the market in my eyes.
And his idea behind the brand was quite innovative, to make it easy for people to find the best perfume for every occasion without being overwhelmed by the number of options on the market.
I have tried to find the best solution for you to skip the jungle of fragrances when you go into a fragrance store. Oh, which fragrance should I take?
See, that's why I've never really changed one, bro. My favorite one right now, like, I'm not gonna lie, I got it from Ross. Let me show y'all, bro. Hey, let me put y'all on. This is like a daily one. This is a daily one, bro. The Michael Jordan cologne. I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is a good daily. This is a good daily one. This is, I got this from Ross. It's a very simple, yet it smells clean. This is I don't know what the hell, like the Michael Jordan is in everything, I guess, but this is the simplest one I got. And it's a small bottle. It was like fucking $10, $15. I'm a simple guy, bro, and getting this shit like low key, it kind of makes me feel nice, cause like, bro, you don't really need to spend all that crazy like $300 on a cologne. You just get something cheap, you know?
Is this?
Cause back in the day, bro, they were wearing colognes so they don't have to shower, you know? That was the reason. Now it's to attract hoes, you know, bad bitches.
As appealing? Do I get compliments? What fragrance should I buy?
And thus began the start of Jeremy's Kickstarter campaign, as he needed his loyal fans' crowdfunding to turn his perfume into an actual company and bring it to the market. His campaign had a goal of 25,000 euros, which was achieved within just minutes of posting his video. Even after the goal was reached, people continued to donate money, raising it to a staggering 800,000 euros, making it the highest crowdfunded fragrance in history. And his dream of starting a perfume brand finally turned into reality, and Jeremy started his aggressive marketing campaign. Office for Men was initially planned to launch at a price of about 39 euros or $45, but before the release, Jeremy decided to significantly increase the price, stating he felt the fragrance felt more worthy than a 39 euro perfume.
Bro, that's the thing, bro. I feel like I don't know, because I'm not in that position. All fucking motherfuckers that started some sort of brand end up going from like $20, $30 of like product to like adding an extra 100 on that motherfucker. Everybody throws on, bro, fuck it, throw an extra 100 on there. Bro, obviously your check's gonna be fatter, but bro, it kind of misses the point in the beginning. Your whole point was to bring it to the average person, but throwing an extra 100 on there, bro, that's somebody's fucking electric bill.
Finally launched, the price was already very high at around $160 for a 100 milliliter bottle, comparable to many luxury perfume brands. However, things took a turn for the worse when people started calling him a scam artist after he suddenly decided to triple the prices on February 4th, 2019, very soon after releasing the perfumes.
Why the price of my fragrance will be tripled soon. Fragrances to me are like an art form, and some cars to the extent are also an art form. And what does a car manufacturer do? They produce a very small amount of cars to make them exclusive. We will also produce a small amount to keep us exclusive.
But that didn't make much sense, as this was supposed to be a simple office fragrance, not something that cost a fortune. Even more suspicious was how cheap the production was compared to the actual price on the market.
First, you buy the glass bottle. The glass bottle is about 50 cents, 50. Then you got the sprayer right here. This is another 50 cents. So we're at a $1. Then you got the cap. This is another 50 cents. Then you got the box around it, which is another 50 cents. So you're at $2 now for this empty stuff. You need the juice inside. The juice is the most expensive one. It's about $3. So 3 plus 2 is $5. And
bro, you just shooting yourself in the foot, bro. $5 to fucking $230. That's like club prices. That's club prices. That's yo, holy fuck. Yo, that's how they be getting like a $30 bottle, selling it for $300.
then you pay for the whole packaging, so it must be filled and everything. So that's
another $1. So about $6 in total, and you have a finished fragrance.
But Jeremy was justifying the high price by comparing it to a priceless artwork.
As you know, a Picasso painting or some other champagne is also very low in production, but it's not the actual value of it. So don't underestimate the actual value of a fragrance.
Right now, his most expensive fragrance sells with a hefty $559
Yo,
price.
fuck is you selling, bro? That's not a fucking Xbox. That's not a PS5. What is you talking about? $559, bro? You dead ass right now? $350 for the other one? Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. I go to Ross and buy this shit for $20.
And despite Jeremy's
I'm a Ross
justification-
boss. I'm telling y'all, bro. I love me Ross and TJ Maxx. My mommy loves TJ Maxx, bro. But I'm a Ross boss. I'm a Ross boss, bro.
Most people in the fragrance community consider his perfumes way overpriced and not something reasonable for an average consumer. People started mocking his perfume, saying it was an absolute scam. As if that wasn't already bad enough, stories started surfacing of people ordering his perfume online and getting ghosted and never receiving his perfume, not even being able to contact customer service about it. However, this was barely the start of his problems, as over the next few years, Jeremy's entire online empire came crashing down. Jeremy always seemed like he was the most well put together influencer on the platform, wearing a freshly pressed suit and looking charming all the time. However,
Hey, chat. I'm over here reusing shirts from 3 streams ago. Look, I like the clothes I got. If I could buy more, I would love to. But right now, I'm running the closet that I got right now. Chat, look, I'm trying to dress fresh for y'all. But, you know, look.
Content changed drastically in 2023 when he suddenly grew religious and his posts became very different from his usual style.
I'm Jeremy Fragrance, the #1 fragrance icon that follows the teachings of Jesus. Nobody has done what I have done in the fragrance industry. I'm the best in the category of fragrances. I'm Jeremy Fragrance, the #1 fragrance icon that follows the teachings of Jesus.
And he switched completely to a white outfit wearing a cross on his neck. Gone were his days of elegance and grace. He now had hollow eyes and a face that seemingly aged over 10 years in just a few months. His new brand motto was Jeremy Fragrance, #1 fragrance icon that follows the teachings of Jesus, which was something he commented and pinned on all of his own videos. This drastic behavior change was a huge shock to his old fans, as they commented saying, "What happened to him these years?"
Somebody was, bro, I saw this on TikTok. Somebody was talking about it being like a religious psychosis or something. I forgot. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up. I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was called religious psychosis. But it's like whenever motherfuckers like go crazy. Yeah, religious psychosis. It's just whenever somebody gets like super into like religion out of nowhere and they become absolutely like clown-like, let me use that word, where they think, oh, they're, you know, selected by God for this, and they're selected by, you know, the Lord to bring this to y'all. And I feel like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, you know, if I'm getting that much fame and fortune, I might fall into that trap. But look, if you get like, you know, 0 followers, and then, you know, you all of a sudden have like 2 million or 3 million, however many he got, you're gonna be like, God made me you know, like you're gonna end up becoming like really narcissistic and really crazy. I understand, but yeah, I didn't even realize religious psychosis was like a real thing until I was just seeing it on TikTok for real.
Over the years had gone to his head, and he viewed himself as the best fragrance influencer of all time, despite all the controversies and questionable behavior on his part.
But I'm the best #1 influencer, you could say. So.
#1?
Of course.
Bro, why is this? I'm not gonna lie, I feel so bad because my forehead was expanding, but over the course of like the last 11 minutes in this video, his forehead is expanded about 3-fold.
Of all time?
Hello, I'm like I'm the first of my kind in that scale.
Jeremy also started posting bizarre and questionable pictures
What
of
the
himself on
pause?
Instagram. But as short-form content took over the world, he also transitioned to creating YouTube Shorts and TikToks. He started posting the same unusual clip of him 5 times in a row to see which one performed the best before deleting the others. However, he soon found out the best way to stand out was to do something completely unexpected and unhinged, and that's exactly the direction he went for.
Me on
Starting
every
with funny
every podcast ever.
and strange clips of himself, to slightly weird dances that left fans confused and questioning all their life choices, to unnecessarily sexualized perfume reviews, to whatever on earth is going on here. People started growing more and more concerned.
See, look, this is what I have to start out with. I'm starting out my content behavior like this, so that way whenever I do get a little bit more polished and a little bit better, motherfuckers aren't like, oh, he's, breaking out.
Things like, the behavior he is displaying is that of someone who is struggling with either substance abuse or has a mental illness.
Yes, mental illness for sure. I'm there with you, brother. We're all there. Look, if you call yourself, totally sane, you might have the biggest mental illness. Look, if everybody's a little deranged, in this crazy world that we live in, everybody's a little retarded.
Very sad considering how he was when he first started out. It wasn't always just about perfumes.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. You cannot start off like fully put together and then have the mental breakdown. You gotta have the mental breakdown first, then you get put together.
Sometimes it was even about food and drinks, like his passionate response to certain cooking ingredients.
Is that ghee?
Oh, this is literally my favorite smell. You know what this is? It's ghee.
And his overly emotional
I'm a brown man. I'm a brown man.
reaction to Nutella, which just showed how much his expertise in fragrances had deteriorated, as just a few years ago he had said this.
Here, gentlemen, imagine this smells like the tastiest Nutella fragrance you can imagine. If you like the taste of the chocolate.
And now all of his content had turned into slop with no real value. But unlike—
Bro, maybe as a creative, he's improved and he's like, elevated as a creator. And you go into delusion land, whenever you elevate as a creator, I'm there with you when I'm at open mics and I'm being like, you guys just don't understand how great this really is, Yeah, that elevation of delusion.
his reaction to Nutella, his reaction to pizza took things to a whole nother
That's
level.
a big ass pizza.
Smell of pizza.
Holy fuck, that's a
Okay,
big
let's
ass
smell
square
it.
pizza.
I want to have sex with this pizza.
As did his unusual obsession with human milk.
Milk is the most similar to mother's milk. It smells so gorgeous.
Hey, I'm lactose intolerant, so I really barely have milk, but ice cream though, I might shit a brick.
Oh, yes! Yeah! It smells trustworthy because butter is similar to mother's milk a little bit. Oh, I post this on TikTok so I can't be too explicit.
Given his new appearance and bizarre behavior, people started calling him a nicer, hornier German Homelander. But his fans were
fuck?
starting to get genuinely worried, saying things like, "Is this man okay?" And the concerns only grew after he posted shirtless videos of himself, where despite being muscular, he looked sick and
That's a
very
big
thin.
ass bottle.
This was a huge difference when compared to how he looked at his peak, and fans were begging him to take care of his health, saying, "Bro, you don't look healthy for real, and please Jeremy, it's time to start the bulk." When confronted about his behavior, he'd only have a narcissistic breakdown in front of the camera.
I got the six-pack, I got the good vibes, I got the red Ferrari, I got the golden Rolex, I'm a millionaire, I love what I do, I say fuck you in your f***ing ass if I want to say that.
As his videos started getting more erratic and his health also seemed to be
That's a
headed
big
down-
ass bottle of sap. I have a tiny one compared to that, bro. That's a huge bottle. Who the fuck gave that bottle steroids, bro? That's a huge bottle.
His fans started speculating about what had happened to him, saying things like, "I think him inhaling all those fragrances has damaged his brain." While the
Hey, ain't nothing gonna damage anybody's brains like smoking a Sharpie, bruh. I'm telling y'all, bro, I was the OG Sharpie snorer, bro. Good old days. Highlighters, Sharpies. Hey, you know when that new fucking fragrance came out? Oh!
Authorities suspected Jeremy had started taking drugs, with every bizarre video getting comments like, "A solid 18 lines today." However, he denied all the drug accusations, claiming he behaves this way intentionally just for views.
I know what works, of course. I know that the jumping energy person works a lot, and I do it without any drugs. It's very good for me.
Have you ever done drugs?
No, never in my life I've taken any drugs except drinking alcohol.
And that he doesn't mind being accused of doing drugs by his viewers.
One question that always comes up, how many lines did you have today?
This is
About 31.
I see that as a compliment. As many guys that used to approach women when they were younger, at least in Germany.
He then made a video just to reassure his fans, but they only pointed out the ridiculous scenery that was taking place in the video, saying as he walks down streets shirtless, eating protein powder off lettuce in a cardboard box. People were instead taking this as confirmation of him being on drugs. Another piece of evidence was how even his long-form videos started getting weirder over time, where sometimes in the middle of a fragrance review, he'd just make a super weird comment.
Perry Alice 360 Red. I love it, man. It's the dildo of the fragrance industry.
And then completely break character and go off on a tangent.
Yeah, it's not so funny actually. Still don't know how to talk about the topic of masturbating.
Finally realizing that he has overshared, he'd quickly wrap up the topic and proceed as if nothing had happened.
I think you're kind of funny.
Ultimately, of course, I want to have a girlfriend and a wife. Turning that girlfriend into a wife and have great kids.
Without even reviewing the scent he was supposed to talk about, leaving fans questioning and saying, so overall, the fragrances of loneliness and edging, it wasn't just a one-time behavior, as his videos often feature strange remarks coming out of nowhere.
I'm not gonna say have sex with all of you girls, but I want to have like high five to all of you guys. And I love this, baby. I just jerked off a little bit.
What is going on with
Not
this quality?
to the sense that I came, but it gives me a certain type of a strength. And the night,
Top gooning advocate right here.
I want to tongue kiss a sexy woman right now. Oh man.
And sometimes it even crosses a line of what should be allowed to be on a random fragrance video on YouTube.
Today I did not jerk off before my video, which I normally do, but I keep my semen to have a maximum impact on my face. You gotta handle and understand your sexual energy. Gives you ultimate power. It gives you the strength
ultimate
to convince
gooner.
people.
As more and more people started noticing his bizarre behavior, he was soon getting called out for being the strangest man on the internet, which led him to getting invited to various podcasts and interviews where his weird behavior continued, like the time he casually got up and did push-ups in the middle of an interview.
I say it in English. It's written M-A-Y-B-E. Whenever I said that, I did push-ups to punish myself. 20.
It seems like Jeremy's antics had led him to escape the fragrance niche and
Bro,
now
what's wrong with just being a creatively fun person, right? I'm not seeing anything wrong here, guys. He's just being a little weird, you know? That's the thing. Whenever motherfuckers get real with y'all think they going crazy. When Kanye got real with y'all thought he was crazy, you know? Now look at him. Obviously, he says some, wild shit, but,
our internet was watching his weird behavior and laughing at him, and as one viewer commented, Jeremy has gone from a fragrance reviewer to a comedian. This sort of weird behavior not
So that's all you have to do is just identify as a comedian. Now everybody thinks you're dumb as fuck. Okay, cool. So comedians are just, laughing stock. Okay, guys, we got hearts too.
only affected his personal image on the internet, but also impacted his brand, Fragrance One. Although Jeremy had been the one promoting and marketing the perfumes, the company was actually founded by both him and his brother Camille Bank, where Jeremy was the face of the company and Camille was the one managing everything behind the scenes. But as Jeremy's mental and physical health changed, so did his marketing tactics in 2022.
What happened is, in May of this year, maybe some of you remember, Jeremy decided to close down the brand. And he did that in a way where he would just go online, as he always does, post a video about it. And then people were asking me, like, what's going on, Camille? I said, honestly, I have no idea.
And it seemed like Jeremy was starting to keep his brother out of the loop with what he was doing with the company, just because he wasn't supporting Jeremy's weird behavior.
Jeremy's original reasoning about it was that he wants to be more creative again, he wants to be an artist, and wants to have less bureaucracy. His version of bureaucracy is me being concerned about his mental health and also his effect on the business, to be honest, because the way he's been doing things over the last couple of months and years have not been doing well.
Finally taking it one step further and showing just how selfish and narcissistic he was.
He basically said from one day to the other, Camille, you're out and you should do your own thing. There's healthy ways to disagree and to separate. However, the way he did it, this was extremely disrespectful and very problematic.
Not only had Jeremy been rude and hurtful, he had also betrayed the trust of his own brother and business partner.
This being a family business, I decided to not sign any paperwork and just be cool with Jeremy's handshake agreement and my handshake agreement on a certain equity split, and I guess I learned from that.
Camille, who has his own YouTube channel called Cents with Benefits, eventually managed to acquire a few products from Jeremy to sell them on his own website, where it's much cheaper compared to the ridiculously high prices that Jeremy sells at. This earned Camille the respect of the fragrance community, while Jeremy only garnered more concern as people were saying, man, it's sad to see how much Jeremy has lost his way. Doing your family dirty like that is just wrong. He definitely needs help and I hope he gets it somehow. Eventually, he announced that he was shutting down his fragrance once and for all in an Instagram post saying, goodbye to my fragrances, selling all my current stock and it won't be reproduced anymore, and offering a 60% discount code on all of his products. However, this wasn't the first time he was claiming to shut down his fragrance, as he had already made several posts with the exact same picture in the past, saying the exact same thing, and fans began to call him out saying, again, he's closing the business like 5 times a year. His behavior only led fans to speculate that Jeremy was perhaps lying about the discontinuation just to urge fans to spend $600 buying his perfumes.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Every YouTuber does this shit. Every YouTuber does this shit whenever it comes to like, hey guys, I'm leaving YouTube for real. You know?
Some of them commenting, bro needs more coke money. And this only got further proven when he posted a new video on July 26, 2025, titled My Fragrance Journey Continues, where he showed no signs of ever stopping production. Although Jeremy's religious awakening had been one of the major turning points of his career, his religious appearance became a bit questionable as he continued to post things that don't really look religious. And despite wearing a cross on his neck, his YouTube videos kept being inappropriate.
And you know what I just did 5 minutes ago? I stimulated my penis. Not that I came, but I was on my Instagram, I was chatting with girls, and blah.
When confronted about this by his brother,
you always say you're the #1 fragrance icon following the teachings of Jesus. Some of the stuff that I see, how do you console that part with showing your schlong in half of your Instagram posts? What's the correct way?
If you think about a person like an actor that is in a stripper movie, or some guy that is actually married but has sex in a movie with another woman, is that actually correct to do as a Christian?
Although a lot of his fans believe Jeremy was just playing up this persona for the internet to get more views, more evidence of his creepy behavior surfaced in 2018 when model Sarah Harris posted an Instagram story exposing Jeremy's private messages to her on Snapchat, where he was clearly flirting and making inappropriate comments towards her, like saying, "You hot woman, you know what I do with you after we have our dinner in a fine restaurant together and you wear your sexy dress." But Sarah wasn't interested in him, so she politely rejected him by saying it's not gonna happen. But instead of backing down, Jeremy went all in and responded with, "It will happen intensely, babe. You will wear a pretty black dress and show your chest like you always do. I'll kiss you and press you down and open my business suit pants. You start sucking my rooster then for 2 minutes." Seems like instead of taking the hint, Jeremy was doubling down, thinking her attractive outfits automatically gave him the green light to degrade her like that, which she once again politely declined by saying, "That's a dream you have, it will never happen. I might look sexual, but I'm not a hoe." After seeing that doubling down had clearly failed, Jeremy got angry and started attacking her personally by saying things like, "You are not 18 years old and you know time is passing. You use your time now wisely and choose the best people for you for the future
That's a
and for
roughie.
DJs you give. You know which great men deserve great things from you." As Sarah got understandably mad at these personal assumptions and ridiculous attacks, Jeremy decided to end the conversation by saying, "Have fun in life, the clock is ticking. You should blow a man now to get your validation back that I took from you." After Sarah posted these screenshots online to expose him, Jeremy's reputation in the community started falling apart quickly, with people commenting, "I definitely believe he's pressured girls plenty of times. He's a total lunatic and narcissist." Seeing the damage to his ego, he immediately tried to call her to fix things, but Sarah wasn't the type of girl to give someone as disrespectful as Jeremy another chance. This left him with no choice but to further prove his narcissistic side by texting her on Instagram to manipulate her and try to act like the victim instead. He said, "You have put me in depression with your accusations. I was thinking about suicide because of your accusations," and even tried to guilt trip her by saying, "I wanted to kill myself and quit my YouTube business because of you." However, his tactics failed miserably, and Sarah, to her credit, didn't budge under his pressure at all, and people online started calling him out by saying, "Dude is a certified effing clown." Jeremy's creepy side showed up once again years later, when he grew tired of waiting to find a life partner, and he decided to take matters into his own hands and post on TikTok.
So I'm looking for a girlfriend. You must be Christian and you must be under 32.
And eventually changing up the criteria to fit his vision of a partner.
Christian, under 32, and the characteristics of a supportive woman that lets the man be the man, and she as a woman has the housewife attitude while still being a super sexy woman.
Those who did meet his criteria, he added them on Snapchat of all places and started sending them videos of himself, asking them to send videos back to verify themselves.
Hi Sophia, I asked for a video of you. Can you send me a video of you saying something like, "Hi Jeremy"?
And sometimes he would even address girls mocking their physical appearance.
Hey, pretty woman with the intense teeth.
Before moving on to inappropriate questions.
And is it possible at your age that you're still a virgin, Maria?
Not only were his questions uncalled for, but his behavior was downright creepy and vulgar.
I gotta interrupt your video. I got totally a boner seeing your face and seeing you talk. Totally a boner in my pants, but I'm not going to show it.
And most of these girls were just above the legal age of 18 years old, which was almost half of Jeremy's age, and he was calling them ultra young. Not only was he sharing disgusting details of his erections with these girls, but he was also asking them questions such as, "Will you swallow my if you want to, Rory? Yes or yes, babe."
Bro, why is he doing this on Snapchat though? It's crazy, bro. Why is he on Snap? Is he like dude, I'm not gonna lie, I was a big Snap advocate back in the day, but dude, god damn it. What the hell?
He was trying to convince these young girls to send him nudes, saying,
Later without the top that you're wearing now would be an interesting picture, Corey.
and "I want to see even without underwear and just your hand in front of your you know what. Send me that when you go now to restroom, Corey." This shed light on his religious act as people began calling him out, saying this is not the teaching of Jesus. Even during his usual street interviews with women, sometimes his behavior would seem a bit strange.
Is it okay that I smell you real quick?
Yeah, I mean,
You don't have a fragrance on.
And as this commenter pointed out, he went for the sniff even before she said yes. While others thought this was just Jeremy's desperation to get a girlfriend, sarcastically commenting, "You're telling me the man in his 30s who is desperate for a partner but can't seem to get one behaves weirdly around women? Who could have foreseen this?" Today, Jeremy Fragrance is barely recognized as the same creator that once dominated the fragrance space on YouTube. His content has spiraled into a chaotic mix of repetitive catchphrases, recycled videos, and bizarre antics that feel more like meme bait rather than meaningful reviews. His unique energy, brutally
Like
honest
10,
take,
15K views on a 2 million subscriber channel is crazy, bro. That hurt my soul, bro.
and
That
deep
hurt my
knowledge of
soul.
fragrances has buried under non-stop promotion of his own perfume line. There's no real value in his content anymore. The same titles, the same ratings, the same white suit. It's like watching an endless loop. Once known for influencing buying decisions and introducing niche scents to the mainstream, Jeremy's opinions no longer hold weight. Viewers don't trust him to be
That's a lot of
objective
colognes.
because almost every video circles back to plugging his own product. But his fans in the fragrance community still love and miss him, and they're always watching his old videos and leaving comments saying, "I miss this version of you, Jeremy," and "Prime Jeremy, you used to be my hero. Miss him so much." If you like this video, you'll probably enjoy these next ones as well.
Video. Bro, that's the thing, bro. I feel like at some point, you know, everybody hits that, oh, you lost your prime, you know, you've not made the videos that you used to make, you know, you've lost that spark. Or, bro, that's the thing. Sometimes as creative, bro, you just have to change. You know, sometimes creatively you get bored, bro. And maybe him having that crackhead behavior was, you know, always there, and he just didn't know how to use it properly. And now he's able to like go above and beyond in that crackhead behavior. You know, now he's about to like really be a full-on crackhead. And you know, sometimes once in a while being a crackhead on camera, some people think it's, you know, crazy, but you're just having fun, bro. What happened to just having fun? Why does everybody want to judge so much nowadays, bro? What if we're just having a good time, just being genuine crackheads? And I think, you know, Jeremy obviously might be doing some crazy shit, you know, obviously having, you know, spraying a half a bottle of cologne on somebody's foot is wild work. But hey, it's how he got discovered. That's the thing. That's how it gets, you know, the views nowadays. The more obnoxious, the more crazy you act, it kind of makes it, you know, more interesting, bro. Nowadays, people got attentions of a goldfish. There's no more, how would you say, like, content that does not, you know, go crazy. If you're not acting crazy, if you're not acting delusional, if you're not acting full on like psycho, motherfuckers not paying attention, bro. It's just unfortunately the internet, bro. That's just how it be. Especially when you're up and coming, you have to go above and beyond in the delusion. Like, bro, if you're, you know, doing open mics for 3 or 4 people, bro, honestly, you have to be delusional to keep going. Otherwise, everybody would quit within the first 5 years of doing open mics, bro. There's just no comedian in this world that has not gone above and beyond when they're getting hated on, bro. There are some times I have to take breaks for comedy because I'm like, dude, am I actually funny, or if I'm just like being a full-on degenerate, you know? Sometimes you have to really put 2 and 2 together and get your life together with that idea, you know? Because, you know, some people may understand your art and some people really might think you're crazy. And I'm like, dude, I'm really trying to work that out. I'm really trying to, you know, fix that. Because sometimes you just have to let the art shine. You know, sometimes you just have to let the art be its own thing, you know? And it's okay when people don't understand the pure art, you know? It's all good. Because not everybody will. So, I don't know. W video, I enjoyed that video. It just made me think about a lot of the things I do on stream versus who I really am. You know, whenever I go to a podcast or whenever I do something, you know, online, I always look at those videos and I'm genuinely like, you know, when you're on the internet, it's not a real world. You know, you're 10xing your personality, you're 5xing who you really are in interviews. You're just, you know, wanting to get that attention, especially as a comedian, especially as somebody that's, you know, just trying to get the first initial boost to get into the limelight, right? When you're not making any money from this shit, you're doing it for the love of the game. You're doing this for just genuinely pure, like, how do I get somewhere with this, right? And then when you actually get the money, I see a lot of people kind of like, you know, destroy themselves because they're like, bro, I got what I wanted. How do I shift? And the shift really comes from, you know, them going towards the religious side. You know, Sneeko, for example, went the religious side too, and everybody thought he went crazy. You know, it's just kind of hard to stay sane in the content sphere. You know, everybody's gonna call you crazy. The one person that genuinely handles it, like out of of all people, which is kind of insane, is Jake Paul, bro. Mad respect to Jake Paul being able to handle all that hate. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he's been able to just hold frame. He's been able to hold frame for the last, like, what, 5-10 years of making content. In the Team 10 house, he was the most hated. He's been the most hated since he started boxing. He's been going crazy on the fucking views, and people just been hating him forever and ever. Yet he's been able to hold frame because he's like, bro, I can handle this. And that's the thing. Sometimes people that have been hated all their life, they can handle it. But even then, bro, like, when everybody hates you, when everybody's like calling you crazy, it becomes a little bit painful, bro. It becomes a little bit like, damn, like, you really feel about that? Like, is that how you truly feel? Because I'm bringing you entertainment. Because that's the thing with Jake Paul, bro. I always see his shit everywhere, and I give big props to him because I'm like, dude, I feel like he's underrated. Like, Jake Paul, obviously, he's a multi-millionaire. He's crazy known around the world, but to get where he's at, bro, he's had to go through the hate. Logan Paul, of course, has a $1 billion company. Prime is everywhere, and he's known as, a very put together person. But Jake Paul has been hated way more than Logan Paul. Even when Logan Paul had that whole, like, Japan shit happen, people didn't hate him as, like, much as everybody just hates on Jake on a regular day. On a regular day, Jake hates is way worse, bro. Jake hate is 10x where Logan Paul hate was at the peak, and that's why I always wonder, bro, like, being the heel of any, programming, or being the heel in general is so tough on the mental, bro, because everybody's hating you, and unless you have a good support group, you're gonna fucking like start breaking down. And that's why I feel like, you gotta have, like, good friends around you and good people around you that will keep you like in that mindset, like, nah, bro, you good, like, don't worry about it. You cannot have, like, that's why, bro, sometimes some of those athletes keep yes men around, because, bro, you might need to for your own sanity. You might need to have some yes men around you, because at the end of the day, bro, if everybody's hating on you and you got a few yes men that are like, nah, bro, you got to keep going, right? That kind of keeps you sane, because a lot of times, bro, this fame and this shit that comes with wanting to chase the bag, wanting to chase this how would you say, like, demon of social media and online clout, it really snatches a lot of people's souls. It takes away people's souls because, bro, you give yourself up for the art. You give yourself up for this higher plane of art form. You want to be something great. You want to be somebody that's known as an artist, somebody that's known for what they do, right? And sometimes you have to give up your whole life for that, bro. A lot of artists back in the day were hated. Van Gogh, I'm pretty sure, was hated until he made the Starry Night or whatever. Let me look it up. Hold on. Yeah, Van Gogh. Like, this painting, let me show y'all. This painting was genuinely not top notch back in the day. Now it's known as one of the greatest paintings in the world, bro. The artists have to be crazy. Where was the world when artists could be crazy without being judged? You have to separate the art from the artist, bro. Just because Kanye says crazy shit does not mean he's crazy. Obviously, he does wild out sometimes. But, bro, there is a different level of intellectual battle that he's having. He's in the line between crazy and sane. He's right in that middle. Bro, you cannot make great albums like he did if you're not crazy. Tyler, the Creator, he's one of the most creative artists right now. But I'm sure deep down, if you have a conversation with him one-on-one, you're gonna be like, what the fuck are you saying? The average person is just trying to get to their 9 to 5 and get to their, like, home right after and just get to work. When you give up all your fucking worldly responsibilities and you give up everything for the art form, you are a little crazy. You have to be. There has to be a level of delusion that you delude yourself to be the greatest ever. There's a difference between being good and great. Being good at something, you can do it just by putting in the extra work. You can do it by just doing a little extra hour, a little bit extra. But being great takes away a part of you, a chunk of your life that you genuinely cannot get back. It will take you away from family functions. It'll take you away from the time from the family. It takes you away from being you as a person. So if you genuinely want to be great, it comes with a lot of scrutiny. It comes with a lot of pain and loss. It comes with a lot of giving yourself to the craft, whether it be for being a painter, whether it be being a musician, comedian, whatever you want to do. If you just want to be good, you can be good. But if you want to transcend time, if you want to transcending art, it's going to take every ounce of you. It's going to take your soul. So are you willing to give that up? Are you willing to give your soul? And that's why people say they sold their soul. Yeah. When you're trying to be great, you have to. You have to stop going to family functions. You have to stop going to the basic necessities of a human. You stop going to birthday parties. You stop going to fucking like just night outs. You give yourself to the art form. And most people will never understand that. Most people will never understand what it takes to be great. People might know what it takes to be good, but they may never understand what it takes to be great. So with that, put your drinks up. If you made it this far, hit the fucking follow button, hit the notifications, because y'all gotta understand how I'm coming. Y'all gotta understand that I'm really putting in this work. Stay blessed. And have a good night.